Well, congratulations to Laura Richards, Amazon's newest best-selling author.
Hey.
Yay! I'm so excited to chat with you about your coloring book and your journey
Oh
to
my
get
God.
here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I just have been doing anything therapeutic since I got divorced, and I actually color every single night. I love to do it because it is so relaxing to me, and when I was able to, you know, coordinate with you and partner with you to help me create a coloring book. So I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I loved it because I just love seeing the vision that I had and then you had come together and in real life and in a tangible thing that I'm like sitting there coloring. I'm like, this is so fun. It's just been so fun. And it's been great to share that with other people to say, this is something I want to do, or this is what I want to give you to help you, relax. So it's been fun.
That's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that the coloring book is something that you feel so strongly about, and coloring really is a part of your everyday self-care. So tell
Yes.
me about how it makes you feel. Like, what happens when you're coloring that
Yeah.
makes you feel better and inspired you to make this book?
Well, I love creating art. And that's one of the things that it feels like, even though, look, it's all the design is there and everything, I can color whatever I want. Did you know you're allowed to color flowers, whatever color you want? And, you know, and I think it's just kind of a fun way if, it doesn't have to be like the Mona Lisa every time, right? And to me, I love colors. And so it's like, oh, I feel like this should be blue and this should be pink. It makes me feel so good. And I bought some really good markers and some really good colored pencils. And so they make me happy and they just slide on the page. The whole
Honestly,
thing is an experience.
there's nothing better than having like really nice, for me, it's colored pencils, like really
Okay.
nice,
Yeah.
smooth colored pencils. I buy watercolored colored pencils,
Oh,
and they're so nice. It's just smooth and it's so therapeutic and relaxing.
it is. There's something about it. My kids had given me some colored pencils. They're Crayola or something, and they just glide on the page. And I'm like, oh, these make me so happy because it's just kind of gliding. So it's all part of the experience of that kinesthetic, right? It's just everything. It's just like it's visual and it's gliding. I don't know. The whole thing is relaxing to me. So I just enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Do you notice that when you're coloring that you're able to like focus on, issues and process through them more?
Well, the neat thing about your brain is we got two different things happening. And so when I'm coloring, I start to get ideas for other things because then the other side of my brain is relaxing and I'm not trying to force it to do something. So I will start to get other ideas and I can actually work out problems for other things if I'm doing a different activity, if I'm doing a creative activity. So I love to do anything creative, dancing and, any kind of dancing, even if I am cooking, things like that. Things like that really help me to go, oh, so I always keep a notepad nearby or I just tell my phone to jot down my ideas because things will start coming to me. And it's true because you're using a different side of your brain.
Yeah, it's so interesting what our brains, like you said, are capable of doing when we're focusing on coloring or we're focusing on something that's, expressive and therapeutic, but it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power and concentration. We are actually more capable of processing through problems,
Yeah.
processing through emotions and traumas. So, coloring and writing are actually the two strongest and most effective means to not only self care, but stress relief and overcoming trauma.
Oh,
Have
I didn't
you,
know that. That's awesome.
isn't
Yes.
that fun? Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day. Well, I didn't know it was that great. You know what I mean? But it has really been helpful. And I think that's why journaling has been really good for me too, because I do kind of almost pray journal kind of, like that. And so to me, it does feel like that. Things kind of flow. And maybe that's why it's different when you're typing, how it feels different to actually put something to paper. I feel like it's using your brain in a different way. So I I really liked it.
So you love to journal as well. I'm a huge journaler. I'm a writer. And I know that you have a ton of journals available on Amazon as well. So
Yes.
what kind of things do you journal? Do you journal like morning and night scripting, or do you just write about things that you're experiencing? Tell me about that.
I do a couple of different journals. One of them I'm doing where it's called a give journal, and there's actually four different parts, and each letter means something. And G is gratitude, and there's certain things to it. So I do that, and that's kind of my morning routine. And then in the evening, I will actually journal kind of like how I'm feeling, kind of processing some things, maybe some a dream I had. If I had a dream, I might try to journal right away in the morning or something. And I love to process in a handwritten journal because I feel like I can work it out a little differently, right? Like we were just talking about. And so, not just talking about it and not just doing a voice recording or something, but really processing it on paper really helps and helps me I don't know, maybe those negative things that are in my mind, get them down. And I feel like it's very therapeutic that way. And to me, I also do kind of some praying that way. And so I kind of write it all out as I'm praying or thinking about it and things. And that's been really helpful. And my journals have, some of them have prompts and some of them have just blank pages for you to go with the flow.
That's awesome. So you have a whole series of
Yeah.
self-care,
Yes.
projects, self-care materials
Yes.
available to people. That's incredible.
Well, it's what I needed. And so, I started to get creative once when I left my trauma, what happened was you start to get clarity because your brain is no longer trying to just survive. And so I started to get clarity. And what I've always loved is being creative. I've always loved doing crafts and things like that. And so I started doing them online. And that's why I started creating. Well, I know I like journals, so I would create a journal for myself. And I'm like, well, other people should look at these because they're so helpful. And I've created every time I've needed something, I've created it because I figure if I like it, you might like it too.
I think that's incredible though, and it's so smart, right? If it works for you, there's somebody else it'll work for as well. So through your own healing, you're providing those same resources like breadcrumbs for other
Yes,
people.
right. Exactly.
And you've been going through a journey of healing. So correct me if I'm wrong. So you got divorced,
Yes.
realized that he was narcissistic or had narcissistic tendencies,
Yes.
and have just been kind of like picking up the pieces of you after that. So tell me about that if you don't mind.
I
And then
don't.
like how using these tools have helped you.
Yes, like you're right. I figured out a couple of years before we got divorced that he was a narcissist and it's just tendencies. And though a narcissist isn't going to go anywhere to get diagnosed. So that's part of it. And, after that, I started to really try and what I would call find myself. But really, what was happening was I already knew who I was. This is what I started to learn. I already knew who I was, but before I was being oppressed. And so, one of the things that I found was Laura likes to be creative, right? And so, journaling has always been there for me, and that's been important. And then doing the coloring at night to relax, as even though when I was in my trauma, that was definitely part of it. And then afterwards, that's really helped me. And then doing other creative things, like making videos and talking to other people and collaborating. And of course, like I said, creating the journals and things like that. It's all just starting to come out, and I'm starting to learn like, what do I want to do? And the underlying thing has been helping people. And one of the ways is through books and journals and things like that.
Awesome. When you leave a situation like that with a narcissist or even just an unhealthy relationship, you
Yeah.
like don't remember who you are anymore, or there's pieces of you that are missing and you're struggling to find that identity. And so I'm really happy that you were able to find ways to piece that back together and remember who you are, right? And
Yeah.
through that, did you find that like self-love again, that healing, that growth, that feeling of, just self-love?
Well, that was the key for me. So the ultimate act of self-love for me was setting healthy boundaries. And one of the ways I learned to do that was I started just completely loving myself. And I would find these encouraging phrases and words and whatever, and just put them up and be like, you are worth it. You are valuable, no matter what he said, kind of thing. And that kind of started the journey there. And that's why in the coloring book, I wanted to, have all these encouraging words. So every time you turn the page, there's another thing to remind you of who you are. Even if you can't remember right now, if you can't see the good, I hope that the pages will encourage you. And the flowers I just thought was so pretty, and it'll give you a nice visual to really help soothe you. That's what I needed around me. I needed beauty and things that made me happy, and sunshine, because we are houseplants, right? And we need sunshine and water and and just those kind of things and those words. But yeah, the ultimate act of self-love was setting those healthy boundaries. But that started with loving myself.
Do you have the book on you to show a couple of the pages?
So yes, here's the book. Colorful Reflections. I love the bright cover you did. Thank you so much for that. And I was very happy about that. It's very visually appealing to me.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
Okay, so the other thing that I love, okay, so we have the beautiful, all the different fonts on every page, different flowers on every page. This one says reclaim your life, and then you're not alone. Just things to let you know, right? And then the other fun thing was that we have black on the back of the pages. So you can use those nice juicy markers, because I made the mistake of buying paint pens, and guess what? They still work. Do not bleed through.
Oh,
And
good.
it made me so happy. And then you can actually color on the black pages as well. So it's been so fun to like do all these different fonts, and I've been touching like every single page. I want to color every page, and it's been great. And I love it's just so smooth and easy and pretty simple. Just throw it in your bag and grab some pencils or markers. It's perfect.
That's awesome. Where can people get it?
You can get it on Amazon. And also that's where I'm at, podcast.com. I have a direct link there as well, but Colorful Reflections on Amazon as well.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, Laura, on your
Thank
successful,
you.
incredible, beautiful coloring book filled with positive affirmations and encouraging words. Very, very important stuff for us all to remember.
Yes,
And
that's right.
yeah, and congratulations on it being a bestseller today.
Yay. I'm so happy. Thanks, Marissa. I
Okay.
appreciate it.